So you're thinking about reinventing yourself and you're 40, 50, 60 and above, and you're scared. Well, I'm Stephanie. I host a podcast called Unwritten, and it's all about sharing stories about overcoming and creativity and really just the meaning of life after 40. So, I think that being over 40 and reinventing your life is super, super special because you have now the lessons of your 20s and 30s to help propel you forward in life. And it means that you're finally taking this first step towards really feeling out who you are in your heart and understanding that not everybody has to have the same life that you have, and your life doesn't have to look like anybody else's life. When I turned 40, I realized that my second marriage was just over. And it had probably been over for a few years, but I was just so scared of messing up. I was filled with shame because this is my second divorce and I didn't want to go through this again. I thought that I was healed enough after the first one, and I really just thought I'd be married to this person forever. But what happened was I started having these feelings of like I was inside a box. And in order to live my life, I had to stay inside this box. That when I got out of the box, even if I came up for air a little bit and kind of took a breath and looked around, that when I opened up to who I was within this relationship, within this life, not just the relationship, but this life that I built with my friends and my family and my job, I felt like the people around me didn't accept me. And of course, as a people pleaser, that was like the worst feeling in the world, is not being accepted by the people that you love. So I would come up for air. I would kind of start feeling it out a little bit, and I would kind of start showing parts of my personality that I kept hidden because I didn't think I was worthy of being seen. So I started doing this, and every time I would stretch my arms, stretch my legs, kind of feel out my life, it would cause chaos. So I'd come back in like a little clam or a little snail, go back in, come back out, go back in. And it was exhausting. And what I realized was that the life that I had built around me did not sustain me anymore. So of course, there was a lot of shame, but it also gave me a really clear opportunity to think about what I really wanted in life. I would daydream about the things that I wanted in life. I would daydream about having a kitchen of my own that I could dance around in. I would daydream about living in California and waking up with the sunshine. And I would daydream about owning a business that sustained me and that I loved. And I just started envisioning this life of love and laughter and light. So I ended up going to Santa Barbara for a month. It wasn't the drop of a hat, I'm going to Santa Barbara. It was this calling that I had within me that I didn't even feel like I could stop. And trust me, I wanted to stop this train that I was on. I felt like this train that I was on of self-discovery, of following my heart, was going to end in a disaster. Like I couldn't get off of it, and it was really scary. I wish that I would have embraced that time a little bit more and enjoyed the scary ride, because looking back at those moments that I thought were the scariest, they were actually the most beautiful. So I go to Santa Barbara and I start just feeling what it feels like to walk on the beach, right? My dream life, walking on the beach every morning. And I start to feel the sun on my skin and on my face, because that's what I had dreamt about. The Airbnb with this little kitchen, I would dance around the kitchen. I would try to do these things that I had imagined myself doing as much as I could in life. And when I ended up coming back to Wisconsin and finding my own place, I found a place that allows me to dance in my kitchen, and it has great natural light. And I don't even know where I'm going with this, but you just find these pieces of you that you want, and you follow those little pieces. You find, okay, for instance, something that you might want in your life is time to read. And maybe in this life that you have now, you feel guilty reading. So you find these little pockets in your life where you can read, and you watch what happens with other people. Do other people support you? or do they not? Which leads to my second thing that's super important is finding the people that support you. Now, for me, I'm super introverted and my support system was very, very small when I was going through my second divorce, which is how I reinvented myself after 40, how I started over after 40. So I didn't have friends and family that have done this sort of thing. I listened to podcasts, I read books. That was my support system. It doesn't have to be somebody that you talk to every day. You just have to be listening and feeling supported, whether it's a person, a book, a story, whatever you can to keep going. So those are my 3 steps. Figure out what you want, be brave enough to do the thing, and find the support that you need. And when I'm talking about being brave enough to do the thing, the small thing, whether it's reading a book, whether it's writing, whether it's going on a hike, find something that you have in your life that you enjoy doing. And even if you haven't made that big step to reinvent your life, to restart your life after 40, just making time for yourself to have that inspiration, to have that heart to heart talk with yourself is super important. So I hope this helps. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your biggest takeaway from this. And if you've gone through a restart after 40, I would love to hear from you.